Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. Today is episode 232. Welcome to the channel and welcome back if you are returning. The last video I did was last evening where I walked through the beginning of this book through the midpoint, and I had even done one extra page in the back and an extra page past the middle. So this is the image that we are going to work on next. And I had originally talked about it being a mirror image top and bottom, but in addition to that, it is actually a quadrant image. So I have pulled some strings, changed around my sets. I'm going to take this on as sort of a two-page spread. So I have some smaller sets in the next group of 7 to deal with, and it left me with 4 120 or bigger sets to do each quadrant of this lovely floral page. So going back, and what gave me the idea after I noticed that it was in a quadrant format is back to page 3. This is a quadrant, and I'm going to do a similar quadrant. Each quadrant is a different set of pencils. The first set, which is the one up next, is the one that I went ahead and used because I already had pulled them out. So I'm going to get started, and as we go along, I will talk a little bit about the game plan. I have not marked the quadrant, so we'll see how well I do. And I am going to, in a general sense, go in color family order from the middle on out. So it is going to be a yellow, orange, red, pink, purple. And this whole swath of flowers will be a big array of pink and purple with some variations. So starting in the very middle, we have orange. I'm going to start in this bottom quadrant just to be different, and it also is the easiest shape or easiest area to color in, and then from there I'll rotate around. I tend to start in the upper left corner, and I was just feeling like I should shake it up a little bit. So the goal on this particular image is to make it look very pretty, and then hopefully replicate the prettiness that I achieve using the Kalour full color barrel 180 set. This is the set that has the small core, so they kind of have a more svelte feel to them when you're holding them, and when you're using them they don't feel as beefy as the black barrel, but they are the same color palette. Ironically, now I moved them from where they were. I completely changed the order to match exactly the sort order for the black barrels, and I am missing say 3 or 4. But yet I had colored in on the index sheet as well as the not my color swatch chart. I think my color swatch chart is complete as well. I'm only missing one color to my recollection, and that would be the grape color. So I am not sure why I have so many gaps. It makes me wonder if some pencils sort of disappeared and will magically reappear in some strange spot. So I'm not going to sweat it. I just won't use those. These are the ones that did get damaged in transit to me. So I'm just kind of like, here's my one quadrant line, and here's the next quadrant line going right down that flower and right down the middle of this flower, which means that this nice big leaf needs to get half colored in. And I'm not going to be too picky about how exact it has to be. So while I'm talking this through, I know without looking at my cheat sheet, which actually is nearby, so I'm going to pause a half a sec to get my cheat sheet. So what I've done with this now 2-page spread, as I have determined it will be. So we have, in the next 7 sets, I'm going to go ahead and put the yellow away. That is all that is going to be yellow. I will save green for last, and the background for last. In fact, background might even wait. Like, I might do a partial background with you guys. And let's see here. We've got orange to do next. My 3 oranges, I didn't even show you the colors. Oh my gosh, so fast. Way too fast. So I've got the oranges now off to my right. I'm going to share with you the little tiny bit of yellow that I colored. I used 4. The darkest color, which is this pumpkin yellow, is what the very innermost orange is, with the canary yellow, 004. We love our 004. That comes up all the time. It seems to always be called canary yellow too, by the way, so it's very interesting. Someday I'll do a study on it and track them. Okay, so then this little heart-shaped center of the leaf is also pumpkin yellow, and then we fan out dark to light, bright orange yellow, which is 49, to autumn gold 16, and then the end is yellow, and I did leave a tiny bit white. I'm not sure if I will leave any bit of it white, but for the beginning I'll go ahead and leave a little white. But I am going for rich, vibrant colors because the sets that I get to do the next quadrants are, 2 of them are professional pencils and 2 of them are not. This Kalour full body color set is one of the not professional sets. And then there's Luminance, Polychromos, finishing up with, oh, well, Prismacolor is technically considered a professional set. So 3 professional sets, and then the Kalour is what I'm starting with. So my color choices were based on the largest set of 180. We'll see how well the 120, the 100, and then the Prismacolor 150s do. So light to dark, orange number 8, bright orange, red is, boy, that's really hard. Silver with it, dropout letters, really hard. 133, orange red. It's all about that angle there. 58, maybe? Orange red. So, and I don't even have my swatches nearby. Oh boy, 58. And of course, as always, the color numbers will be in the description. So I have a upcoming project that I think I am going to be working on now. I just did the whole flower. You know, this is handmade art, so I might have to erase this upper half there, depending on when I get to coloring, how I feel about that. I pre-sharpened these for the most part. This is the set that, like I said, it did not do well in shipping, and this particular set of colors, which there's quite a few, maybe at least 20, maybe more, none of them appear to be damaged. So my goal is to make this look very pretty, and I also want to go deep into the shadows. So we'll see how well I do with my goals I have set forth. I have some areas marked to be gold, metallic, or glitter. I'm not sure yet. We already know now, I have established with reviewing the first half of the book, that sparkle pop glitter is not actually very stable. It moves around all over the page, and it will contaminate the opposite page. Not that it will stop me from using them. It's a good thing to know. So I have not set exactly which gold I will be doing. The gold is because the outer set of flowers have centers, and then there's this nice big circle just like the bird page has. And so that is why I am considering gold, but we will see if I change my mind by the time the whole image is colored in. I might make a different decision. All right, so those are the oranges. Moving to the reds. I started out with a way simpler design, and then as I went on, I'm like, nope, I'm gonna just go for it and make it look as beautiful as I possibly can. Okay, we've got the reds. Fresh red. 67. Ooh, that's the way to do it. I hope I remember that. Red 6, burgundy 160. Okay, so these tulips, starting with the darkest color. I am starting coloring later today because Hub, sometimes he, you know, most of the time he likes his nap. And we did both get out and all three of our e-bikes. We have a little e-bike and two big e-bikes. When I say big, I mean like the 26-inch fat tire style of sort of a pseudo mountain bike. I started with the smaller one. I was intimidated by the big one, but I had such a time trying to pace with my husband, and we ride together many miles. And he finally, you know, 8 months later says, you know, can you just get a bike like mine so that we can easily ride together? So I did, and that is now over a year ago that I switched. So this little bike we hung up in the rafters of the garage. Hub tried to get me to sell it. I'm like, oh, if people come, I want them to be able, you know, if they want to try an e-bike, I don't want them to have to try the big bike because they're very intimidating, knowing that's how I felt about it. So we had it up in the rafters, and then his bike at 5,000 miles died. We still don't know what it is yet because it was right before we went home to our hometown to deal with packing up our stuff. Now we're here, and I've been riding the little bike. Well, in fact, I was riding mine, and we would alternate who got the torturous task of riding the little bike. And then, maybe a week ago, my bike threw an error. Hub's bike is just, the display doesn't come on, and so they're suspicious that it might just be the display, which means it might not be like one of the more expensive parts. So we have the display. We have some of the parts they shipped because my bike that's throwing this error 21 could be the exact same range of issues. So they have sent all three possible parts that it could be covered under warranty. His bike, he ordered those three parts and then some because he has some, he always likes to tinker with his toys and wants to do some different things with his. And having extra parts on hand, knowing we're going to be riding these bikes for a very long time, just made sense to both of us. All right, so there's our color family order, starting with yellow, going to orange, going to red. Let's get this light red. Moving on to the purple. Now, I am not sure if I can finish a quadrant in our time frame because now it gets to be a little more kind of organic, so to speak, where I want to be making these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8.5 flowers. Well, there's 9 here, 9.5 flowers. They need to have a variation and look various shades from purple to yeah, magenta, I would call it. So this will be a little more kind of spontaneous coloring. The greens should be really fast. I only picked 3 greens, a light, medium, and dark. Kept that simple. Background this time, I have been doing a lot of night scenes because of the stars. That this book actually has a lot of nighttime scenes as determined by the stars. So this is going to be a light blue sky. We will see how well the light blues in the different pencils, you know, because I've had some struggles with the dark blues. Hopefully the light blues will be better. So these are a very easy pencil to use. This biggest flower, I hope to have the full transition. I'm skipping this one, which is a wisteria. The lightest is the light purple. I think I go lighter. I thought I went lighter. I have to be consistent. So we have the angle that was good, 62. I'm skipping 149 for now on this one that I want to do the full range. I just don't have enough room to do it all. Dark purple, 5. I have a couple of other dark purples before we transition. They're going to be saved. Dark gray is my shadow for all of the flowers. It's a beautiful dark purple gray. Love the color. We have an extra light wisteria 47, which actually is a little bit on the blue side. And then the dark gray, or yeah, this says dark gray, that's actually got a strong purple tone in it, is 79. I am going to pull, I have 2, this is the transition to plum, I guess is what the color is. Is one of these magenta? Nope. So here are the transitions. Goes plum, let's see, from light to dark. 86, light rosy pink. Oof. Medium orchid, 55. Lilac, 41. To plum, 127. So that's an awful lot of pencils, but I figured it gives me enough variation to have, you know, the flowers don't look identical. They just don't. So I hope that having this for, I guess, 9, 10 total colors to play with will give me the variation that I am after. I just grabbed one of the lighter grays, or lighter purples. This is pale purple 15. I'm going very soft because this is this area here is going to transition into the plum. It's going to go to the pink, then to the darkest plum on the outer edges. I am going to try hard not to overthink this. I just want it to look pretty. That's all I'm going after. And the biggest flower, I want to have the most color transition in it. So now I am going with, I'm going to stick with the pink, which is the light rosy pink, 86. And I may have to throw in one more transition before I hit the plum on the outer edges. Trying to leave some tooth because I might be adding a couple more colors in here. I hope that the smaller flowers will go way faster. It's actually looking nice. I am going to put this away, and I have grabbed a medium orchid, 55. I'm just going in here and getting a light layer of at least 3 colors in here. I might even have this medium orchid be darker in between the petals. And then I'm going to pop right on in with Plum. This is Plum 127. I'm going to leave this flower. At this point, it's not quite all the way finished. I just want to see what the other colors around it end up looking like so I can build them all up together. My tactic is always to leave a little bit of tooth. Don't go with the burnishing. These pencils are so easy to work with that it's almost a bad thing, because if you are trying to build up your page and you want to build everything up together, you have to be super careful not to burnish early, because these will turn to burnishing, you know, after a layer to a layer and a half. If you are at all using pressure, they're going to finish faster than you want them to. So I'm just going to leave this kind of this mottled looking, I guess. And I will come back to it when I've got some other colors around it done. All right, so I do have a plan for a couple of lilac colored. We have pale purple, light purple. I swear I had lilac. Wisteria. So I'm going to use these 2 colors. And I am, oh, this one isn't even sharp. Let's get that. So we are going to go ahead and have, this is going to be very light. The center is going to be darker. And I'm going to do another one somewhat like that one. A couple away from it. Gonna go in now and get a little bit of dark here in the middle, but not a ton, because I want this to be very light. And then this one, here you're seeing all of these centers. Those are the centers that I want to have be done in a gold or a yellow glitter of some variety. Okay, leaving those alone. Now we're going to grab the, oh, oh, here's lilac. Lilac's actually over on the pinker side of things. Okay, so I've got medium orchid, oh, angle, 55, lilac 41. And here's a pink. The light pink is the light rosy pink, 86. And I am going to do this one. These are my least favorite flowers. They kind of look daisy-like, but then without having the lines, they're kind of a tweener flower, very cartoony looking. So we will see if I can kind of make them look fluffy. My attempts at making lines way back with some big flower circles just was a big fat fail. So I am going to avoid that failure, learn from my mistakes, and just go with somewhat fluffy. Going right to the light pink. And yeah, see, this is already, this feeling here, these burnish really fast. And so I have to be very careful. They feel very waxy. Okay, there's my pinkest one. I might have to sneak down here. We'll see if I can do this without shutting you guys off. No, of course. It just slid under the desk. I will be right back. All right, I rescued Plum. That was my darkest. And I'm going to do some work here. So far, I'm not liking this one that much. I knew I wouldn't. This is the problem with this style of flower. Okay, setting all of these back down. I told you about the plum, which was the one I rescued. I now am going back to grabbing some darks. I don't want to grab the dark gray yet. That actually is my shadow at the end, so I have dark purple. So light wisteria 149, sorry, wisteria 149, light wisteria 147, and dark purple 005. And no, it is not a mistake that light wisteria is darker than wisteria, and don't ask me why. That is just how they did it. All right, so starting with the darkest. In a way, what I'm doing with these is coloring them somewhat like my hydrangea strategy. Trying to make them all a little bit different. This particular one, I am actually okay if it ends up burnishing. It's like the only one of its style with the 4 petals. So I don't feel like I have to build it up super slow. So this is me kind of going in and letting it finish itself off. I still have some combos where I want to go not to this dark purple. So I'm getting rid of the dark purple. And now I have this combo that goes from lilac 41, I think, yeah, 41. Then I still have the 2 wisterias where light wisteria is darker, 49 and 47. And I am going to do this particular flower. And I want to focus on this color, and it is what I am going to do the burnishing with. A lot of times I will burnish with like the lightest color, and this is the lightest color. It's also a different tone than the purples, so I want to give some variation. This center I might have colored accidentally. I'll have to erase that because typically glitter is not going to be opaque. It's somewhat transparent. So I'll want to take my mono eraser to it. Okay, so that's these three flowers. We've got the darkest purple, we've got a pink, we've got a kind of in between. This one I've left non-committal, and then two lights. Next to it, I want even more pink, so I am going to pull the plum. I've got two. I'm going to set this tone aside. I might need one or two of those. I'm going to start with the medium orchid as the light 55 and plum 127, where I'm going to take the plum. And I definitely want to establish this so I'm not using light pressure. I am committing it. Now we're going to grab that medium orchid. There we go. Now I'm starting to get the variation going that I was after. I don't want this one to go light, so I am going to go all the way to the edges with it. Okay. Okay, moving now to the other side where I already have two light lavenders, and I want to get in a pinkish or violet magenta. On this side. But I need to make the colors be a little bit different. So I set aside these three, and I'm going to grab this middle one. I also have sitting beside me the light rosy pink. So this is Lilac 41. Yeah, and it's getting, this one has more purple in it. Perfect. And now I do have this, again, a larger flower. So I'm going to take it, I kind of want this to, over here, this is, so the thing with these, the big thing is once it burnishes, it goes slick, and you cannot really put, this is why I'm trying to put more color down here on the ends where I'm hoping there's some tooth, because once it fills in the tooth, it gets all slick and it is very hard to add any more layers. But that is nice. So I've got the lavender, pink, violet, purple. So over here on this side, we are also going for some variations. And again, I have, and that does look different than this one. So that was the important thing, is getting some variation going. I'm going to leave this one alone now. And I have this flower. I am going to go for this dark purple, and I want to do a variation. I want this to be very, very dark. So that right there was heavy pressure, one and done, burnished. I'm not going to be able to do any other color there. It is going to be this color. Okay, so I have this pale purple, 15. And I'm going to go a little bit lighter now. I want a chance to change my colors if I need to. And the end is going to be, I'm going to go for the light rosy pink. And then I'll blend it in the middle somehow along the way. Let's just see how that goes. Let's see how we're doing for time. Oh yeah, we got lots of greens. So what I'm probably not going to do is this last half flower, which is going to be somewhat like these other two, where it's going to be a mix of all of the colors. I want to get some green in. And depending how long this takes, I may actually end up doing all of the light blues like on a together. I should probably be able to whip those out, I'm thinking. And if I have all of the light blues, I'm only using 2 blue shades. And so if I save the sky for last, or the background for last, it would be kind of fun to do them all together. All right, so this I kind of kept the idea of the hearts, each heart. And I've got the lavender tone and the pink. And then I'm gonna see, I know I need to change gears here. I just can't help but want to play around with these. I am actually, that's lilac, medium orchid. I am getting ready to commit this flower. Okay, so let me see if I can start tying all this together. This is me burnishing 1/2 of the length of these petals with this light orchid, right? Medium orchid. I'm going to throw a little bit of this color here on this flower. Okay, so grabbing, I'm ready to commit to the dark gray. Dark gray. Wherever I have overlapping flowers, I'm going to add this dark gray. If it's too deep, like this one right here is double deep, I'm going to make the shadow stronger. Where this is really pale, I'm going to make the shadow very soft. I'm even okay with having these individual petals take my shadow a little bit down toward down the petal toward the center of the flower to just make it a little more interesting. So hopefully you are seeing my vision. Okay, I have to get to green. I want you to see what I am coming up with here. 3 greens, and it looks like I didn't sharpen any of them. The very darkest green is olive. Medium green is bottle green. The olive, oh, colors. It's 22. 76 is the bottle green, and the lightest green is kiwi green, 148. I am going to be starting with the middle green, and I'm going to go fast. Most of the flowers are somewhat burnished, so I really can't hurt them in any way if I get sloppy. That's one thing I've discovered about these pencils, and it actually makes them very fast to color with because you can kind of glaze over really casually with a color, and it won't hurt the color. It really won't glaze at the point where it's fully, the tooth is full. So I'm taking the dark and I am following these little lines, and then I'm going around the edges of the flowers. Just very quick. I want these leaves to be, you know, very much kind of like a background element, not a main element like the flowers. Okay. Have to be careful of some of the chunks of blue that are going to show through. I don't want to accidentally make green. Okay, so my plan with these little, I think of these as ivy with holes in them. So I want you to see what that looks like too. And these are just going to be cute little leaves. Okay, I haven't caught everything. Now I'm going to grab the lightest, and I am using medium pressure, so they are going to be pretty well burnished. I am not focusing on the part of the leaf that's closest to the flower because I want to do one more pass with that darkest green, which is called olive. I love how a few of these leaves go over the circle. Alright, so this is ivy. I was going to use a bluer green combo, but I thought my emphasis really is all on the floral elements, so I'm just going to make the leaves all very simple. Okay. I really need to sharpen this. It feels weird. So I will color the bigger flower leaves. time. All right, we're probably at 45. I plan on going another 5 minutes. I've got olive, which is my darkest color, and I do want to make sure that is sharp because now I want to, with what little tooth is left, take my last opportunity for some shadows. Because I did use medium to heavy pressure on these leaves, wanting to do them quickly. So, okay, that is all I'm going to do for the leaves because I do want you guys to see the blue. I've got two blues. The lightest blue, I believe, is pale blue, and I'll show you in a second. So there's what we're looking like. And I'm okay if some of the leaves aren't as dark as the others. Again, in nature, there's a lot of variation. Okay. I can clean all that up on my own time. Homework, 2 colors of blue. It is pale blue, okay? Pale blue 178, and then cerulean blue 003. I'm going to very quickly. I am not going on the outsides. I'm only doing the in-between and in the circle. So there is one area where having that on this side, I have to stop the blue. This is all not going to be blue. Again, I can be pretty sloppy here because the way these burnish, I can glaze over, kind of get away, you know, away from the red, but not really focus. And you'll notice that even if I go over the red, it doesn't really transfer. It's pretty weird how these work. Weird in a good way. It is what makes them really fast. I don't have to be super careful with them. So I think these are a very forgiving pencil and great for beginners. Okay, now I am going to come in with my cerulean blue, which is the dark blue, and I'm going to be a little more careful. And now I am adding pretty heavy pressure, and then I'm going to blend it out, soften it at the edges, and both sides of the circle will have the darker blue. And then that's pretty much it. I get to do this with 3 other sets of pencils that will probably be not as forgiving and as easy to use as these. So this gives you a good idea of what is going to transpire. And I don't mind putting a little bit of the dark blue kind of here and there. All right, we are finished. So, do all of the YouTube things, like, share, comment, consider subscribing, and we will come back tomorrow, and we are going to do one of these other quadrants. We will probably do the one right next to it with another set. And I won't tell you which set it is because I have not decided which way I'll go. And then I have a little bit of homework. You can see there's some more, and I will probably wait on that homework. I have enough Lazy Susans. I can have all 4 sets of pencils out for the whole duration so that I can quickly go in and finish everything off once I have blocked in to this level the other 3 sets. So hopefully I will see you for the next 3.